Hello there, lovely stitchers. I hope you're all right. I'm very late with my video this week because I have just been, well, so busy, and it's been sort of a on the list, that's got to be done, and it is on the list. So I'm just sort of catching up with myself, but have got a little bit of news. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll already know. Heather and I will be exhibiting at the Harrogate Knitting and Stitching Show this November, so that's why it's all been a bit chaotic here, because I got very kind of, oh my gosh, what on earth am I going to do? So all kinds of things started going on in my head. Yeah, so it's sort of, today's stitching has taken a bit of a back seat, but let's get on without further ado. Hope I'm not too dark, by the way. I've sort of tried not to get too many shadows, but it's very difficult, and I've got a ring light above me, and I'm just wondering whether or not to put that on. Has that helped a little bit? So try not to get too many shadows anyway, and too many echoes from the traffic, because it's a Friday afternoon. As I say, I'm very late, and the traffic through the village builds up because it's a little shoot through. So on my journey around the villages, I see there are two main allotment sites, and I thought I can't not put those in, or a version of my version of. And I sort of had a little think about it, and I do an art class with a lady called Lucia, and she did a little version of sort of wonky, scruffy allotments, and I thought, oh, I think I did a picture somewhere, but I couldn't find it. But I sort of had in my head little things that I wanted to do. And I also quite like the artist Kate Brazier. If you look her up, she does some really good kind of gardens and allotment type things. So I've taken a lot of inspiration from those two ladies, and just sort of thought, right, I can work with that, because it's quite simple work, because I'm not a fabulous artist. So right, I'm going to put glasses on, and I'm going to have I've had a little draw and a little play, but it's going to be mainly stitched, and I was going to do some painting on the background, but I've not been that organised, so I might come back and do that after, so we'll see. But I thought I want to do a greenhouse, or a rickety greenhouse, because they've always got like a rickety shed, haven't they, and a rickety greenhouse. And I've just pulled a load of PEARLE threads out, PEARLE cottons out in variegated, because I just thought that would be simpler than keep swapping. I think this green will lend itself well to the different varieties of leaves we might have going on, and a couple of beads, because I thought they might be quite cute. The cream, there's a cauliflower, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So we'll start, and I think I'll do I'm going to do a shed up here and a greenhouse down here maybe. So greenhouse, I am basically going to do it in a, oh, that's gone a bit wonky, but hey, I don't mind a bit of wonkiness. And maybe I'll do like, now they have like a posh pointy bit. We'll see. And that's the roof. And I'll just come out a little bit there. Because we could put some plant pots in, couldn't we? With some plants in, maybe. Don't know. I'll have a look, have a think. And probably shed. What do I do for a shed? I'd like a bit of a, I'll just do a little rudimentary kind of shed. Looks a bit like the one on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang that the granddad had. P-O-S-H. I won't sing. And they always have like a water book, don't they? I'm trying not to go and do this, so we could put a water barrel there, couldn't we? And a bit of a cranky old thing. And don't worry about perspective, by the way. Well, I never worry about perspective. I might have to do a couple of little things to make sure that you can see the barrel. Yeah, I don't worry about perspective, because why would you? It's a sewing. And maybe we could do some like stepping stones to the shed and the greenhouse to sort of make it look a little bit like someone's in there. And I'd probably do always have runner beans in the English garden allotments, so let's do a runner bean sticks, and we can do the twirls. They'd probably have a hedge of runner beans in this allotment, wouldn't they? So I'll do 3. And then I might put some other bits in there, we'll see. You know, like, I don't know, some cabbages or something. Who knows? I'll just do French knots in there. My allotment's not very straight lines, is it? So we could probably do some straight line stuff and have, like, I don't know, carrots, cabbages, something like that. Because we could do some all sorts, couldn't we? Could do some French knots and some bullion knots for carrots, and maybe a kind of, don't know, what else would we have? Well, we'd want a garden fork for sure, spade, so spade and a fork, which, yeah, again, we're not going to worry about perspective. And a watering can somewhere would have. For sure, definitely. And we could do some lines of, I don't know, potatoes. There's something up here. Yes, I know we're going into what might look like the sky, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. So I'm just going to get something and show you a little. Ooh, a little garden shed that I did, and that was the beanstalk and the spade, bit of a plant pot, watering can, garden fork, a wreath on the door, little doggy, and a sign that's probably saying Grandad's shed. Not sure, but you can see where I've sort of no perspective at all. So we can go roughly, and I think we need some bunting as well. So, but anyway, let's give it a whirl. If you're wondering, by the way, I keep saying about these aquatric marker prim. They are prim. I bought a new one because this one started to give up on me. But yeah, the extra fine are always great, and you can just spritz them off with a bit of water. Ignore that one. That was last week's, by the way, if you've not caught up. And I liked my little tractor thing. I still quite like that. Right, so let's do the shed, and I'm going to go with a nice blue colour for the shed. Is that going to be blue enough at that end? Oh, I've not got any scissors out. I use them. I'll try not to clank down too much. I've not used that bit, that's a bit grey, so I could use that for the greenhouse. So, yeah, we got notification on, I think it was Friday, that we've been accepted as exhibitors at the Knitting and Stitching show, which is makes me anxious, because I'm just thinking, oh my god, I don't know what to expect. Sorry, I'm just thinking what stitch I'm going to do. I'm just going to do a straight back stitch, and I'm doing my stitches quite large, and I'm not going to worry about making sure the straight lines or anything like that, or the same kind of size stitching. Because I want it to look a little bit weather beaten, because I don't know whether allotments are a thing in other countries. Must be, surely. Maybe, maybe not, don't know. Haven't done my homework on them. But there's always a garden shed that is a little bit hildie-pildie. It's probably been taken down from somewhere else, or, you know, made from lots of other bits of old things, like old doors and old window frames and things. And when I'm on my bike, I whiz past. Well, I don't whiz past, that's just an absolute fib. I don't do whizzing on my bike, I have to say. I'm quite you know, sort of slow. Yeah. So I ride past, and I will I sort of stand up on my pedals so I can see over the hedges to see what they're growing. And it's just, and sort of a bit later on in the summer, you'll have the one that's not far from me will have lots and lots of rows of sweet peas, which are so gorgeous, and he sells them. He sells little bunches of them for about 50p, so I always get a bunch or two depending on, but I always try and keep some change, because there are lots of them are honesty boxes. Oh, one of them's got chickens as well. That reminded me, so I might do it, maybe not do a chicken. So I don't know whether you can see, I'm literally just doing back stitch. I know this pen's very bright, but I was a little bit concerned that people couldn't see what I was stitching, or what I was drawing with the other one, because it was giving up the ghost. So yeah, they have like little honesty boxes, or that you can get all kinds of stuff. Wonky rhubarb it is at the moment. Wonky rhubarb. A little bit of wonky veg. Who doesn't love a bit of wonky veg? I'm just going to do some running stitches on this. I'm not going to do it because that'll make it look a little bit like it's planks of wood. Yes, there's one of the allotments that has like a little market stall. Very sweet that they've made. And always an abundance of courgettes and runner beans. I've said runner beans. And sometimes you'll get things like dahlias. They're always nice. One of the people, I'll say people because I don't know whether they're male or female. One of them grows lots of dahlias. I can see them on my travel. Sunflowers as well, that's always a nice one later on in the season. We used to have fields, a big field of sunflowers opposite, but over the last couple of years I don't seem to have seeded them, growing them. Don't know why. They're always so beautiful. See the heads bobbing out all over the place. So yes, I was talking about the knitting stitch. Oh dear, I've gone from one thing to another. And it was sort of deciding on what we're going to make, what we're going to sell when we get there. Because obviously I do this, but I don't. That's not my main. This is not my main kind of source of what I do. You know, I do these slow stitched animals, and this is Moonlight. She's my first one. So I'm going to be selling lots of these kits, but it's making the kits up and storing the said kits and getting all the bits, because I use pre-loved fabrics. I had such a sort of brain sort of explosion, shall we say, because it really kept me awake, thinking, oh my goodness, what where am I going to get all this fabric from? But then I will show you, I have managed to clear out my upstairs room that I just threw everything in when I was moving down here, and I did that yesterday to just see what kind of fabrics I've got, what kind of things I've got. And to be honest, I have got lots and lots and lots of stuff that can be used for the kits. So I'm not going to, that's one sort of panic over. And I've got the world's biggest scissors out. Let's just move, because I don't want to be clanking on there. But it's all the little bits and bobs that go with the kits, you know. It's like all the threads, the beads, the buttons, the sequins, the fabrics, everything that goes in them that needs sourcing. Whereas when I'm doing a workshop or I'm doing kits that I sell online, I'm able to sort of source them and do so many, and then they go into the shop. But this is going to be like on a big scale, So I'm going to put the word out into my friends of that I might need some old shirts. A lot of my friends that go dancing, I'm not liking that. I'm just thinking what colour I can use. I want a darker blue. I might just, yeah, I'm gonna put the word out to my dancing friends, and especially the gents, because they have some lovely shirts that they might be a bit fed up of, and because men's shirts are the perfect source of pre-loved fabric, because you get a lot of fabric and usually have quite ditzy patterns on, so they're useful, and I can cut them up and use them. Also, I'm going to France in a few weeks, so the linens I'll be able to pick some more up and get them sent back. So that's another. But I have to say, it's my daughter Heather, who she'll come on every now and then and do a little what she's bought. She she definitely signed us up without telling me, because she knew that I would say no, I'm not doing it. But now I've got my head around it, I'm okay. I'm doing alright with it. I'm thinking about it, and I'm just, I mean, I don't think you can see, but I've got boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff all stacked up that's sort of, I'm preparing, which I am anybody that knows me in my family knows I'm a big procrastinator. So this is unusual for me to get organised. In fact, my son laughed the other day, saying, oh, somebody's trying to call me, saying he was quite surprised that I was doing things in such advance. So I'm just going to stop you there, just because this person I need to speak to. So I'll be back in a few minutes, and I'll try not to do any stitching while I'm talking to them, because that's my big, you know what I'm like, I do tend to do that. And in the while I'm up, I might go and find my paint. Okie doke, I'll be back. Oh, sorry about that. I'm back. It was actually Heather, but because we're doing lots of sort of things that we need to be booking and buying and all this, she was messaging me, phoning me to finalise what colour threads I want in the kits. So yeah, okay, so that's my little shed done. Like I say, I am going to paint on that, because I feel like it'll need a little bit of background colour, but I'll do it after, because as I say, I'm not organised enough. And I went and found some these are threads. What I tend to do is I go into the charity shop, and I go in the haberdashery sections, and I'll find people's unfinished projects, and there's always dozens of them, and I just buy them for the threads in them. So these are quite old ones, but usually they're like in a colour theme. So this is, I don't know what this would be from, but it's quite good for this kind of, because it's got some browns in it, and I thought, even though I was going to use that, I'm wasting loads because it's got orange first, so not really useful, because I want to do these. and I wanted to do the greenhouse, which I'm actually going to do in that grey. I know they're a little bit boring colours, aren't they, but you know, for now, you know me, we will make it look good. Gosh, I didn't realise the amount of sort of threads I would need, and so it's all been that kind of, oh, where have you come from? All that kind of I forgot what I was going to say. All that kind of maths, but I had to laugh at Heather. I said, well, we'll pay for it up front, and she said, oh, that's girl math, isn't it? I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, once it's paid for, it doesn't matter anymore. It's done, gone. She's right. I did laugh. I just, oh yeah, it's kind of a once you've spent it, it's gone, and it's not coming back. But hopefully it will. But I know what she means. It's kind of like just, well, when it's gone, it's gone. But that's going to be the big job. And the big jobs are making up the kits, the threads and things like that. Oh. I went to a Motown tribute evening at the theatre the other night. Really enjoyed it. I don't really do Motown, I'm not a fan, but that said, they obviously picked lots and lots of popular Motown tunes, i.e. Michael Jackson and Aretha and all that kind of thing, Supremes. Smokey Robinson, that kind of thing. So it wasn't the really sort of obscure kind of tunes, but I enjoyed it. We made my friends and they were up and dancing. Some nice, making nice memories. So I'm doing the greenhouse. I've got a little bit of grey. This PEARLE, the problem I have with PEARLEs is you get to a certain and the insides disappear, so I don't know what it is. Couldn't tell you. I think it's an 8. It feels like it's an 8. I do have these, some variegated in the shop, but I've stopped kind of buying them and I've moved on to my SCHEEPJES candy floss and sweet treats, because they get so much more bang for your buck with them, and they're so beautiful to stitch with, and they have some fabulous colours. So we've sort of strayed off the DMC PEARLEs now. I use the odd one. Like I say, I'll supply variegated, but I won't be sort of putting any more of the plain ones in the shop, and they are very difficult to get hold of. RDMC, not the best, not the best, as in to get on the phone, you know. It's not a good, I don't have a great relationship with them, whereas the SCHEEPJES people, they are brilliant and quick. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. Just looking at Reggie. The plumber's been this morning to fix the upstairs loo, and Reggie is the hostess with the mostest is Reggie. He loves people. He loves people, but he's, you know, he gets a little bit fussy. Well, he's all right. So he's exhausted now. He's had a people time. By the way, I am stitching random stitches. I'm doing the back stitch just on the, to make the greenhouse look a little bit less hiddly-piddly, but it is very hiddly-piddly. So I am just doing all sorts of stitches and just random sizes. Yeah, let's move that out of the way. I'm sure you don't want to listen to me singing, sorry. I don't know why I'm hunched up like I am. I don't want to look at the back of this because it's probably, oh, not too bad. I think because I'm trying to stitch and so you can see it, I'm getting myself into a bit of a strange position, so I start scrunching my shoulders up. That's not good for you. Had a lovely picture sent me of a lady had done one of a brooch that I've designed, a little Reggie brooch, and she'd done her own version of Reggie, and a cat. She'd altered it to a cat, which was so lovely. Jill, hi Jill, if you're watching. Yeah, she said to me she's going to send it me, which I'm excited about. But if you are, I'm going to do one big long stitch there. If you are not subscribed to the newsletters, I don't send out lots. I honestly don't, because A, I don't know what to put in them, and B, it annoys me when I get lots of spam in my emails. I only send an email when I really have something to say, which I know I talk a lot, but I just don't want to be sending out lots and lots of emails. People switch off from them. I unsubscribe, so. But yeah, if you have subscribed to the emails, which again, like I just said, don't send them any out, you get a little link to the video for the Reggie brooch, which I've not got, but you'll see it on the website. It's and my website details are below. Right, just think. Let's do one more bit there. Yeah, and she's done us some, but if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I have put, well, I say I, the royal I, as in Heather, has put the pictures of them on there. So adorable. So yeah, if you do follow me and you are stitching along, because we can't put pictures on here, just drop me a message in Messenger or an email. If you're subscribed, you can always email me on, or you can just email on from the website. I like to see what you're up to. I like to see your versions. I was talking to one lady. I'd gone to a coffee morning, and I was talking to one lady, Diane. Hi Diane, and she'd showed me a scroll that she'd done, absolutely stunning, of memories, but she was going to do something similar. I'd sparked her ideas off again, so that's nice. Right, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some French knots on this. I'm going to make them to make like the little posh. Yeah, and like I say, it's just so lovely to see people's interpretations of what you're going to do. We do once a month. One of my other friends, she does a crafternoon treat, and another lady was showing me what she'd been doing. So I do sort of get to see in person quite a bit, but I just don't see you international people, which is a shame. And I've just said that I'm closing the private Facebook group for Moonlight Stitches because it just wasn't doing what I was wanting it to do. Nobody was posting anything, so it's just another thing that I had to keep my eye on, and so we decided that it's just best to close it, and maybe another time have a look and at doing something else. I don't know yet, but for the moment I think it's best that's one less thing for us to do, to keep our eye on or whatever. But if you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram, the links are below. Always love to see you, especially on Instagram. We could do a hashtag, couldn't we? Hashtag Moonlight Stitches. I don't know whether or not. I know one lady, she purchased a couple of kits, and she's been hashtagging Moonlight Stitches. But if you do something, you can tag me in on Instagram so I can see it. It'd be great. Don't usually talk about my social medias. I was looking for an alt tip. If you're new here, an alt is a little jar that I put my little threads in. I've got my nose is itching. I think it's because over the road I have there's hills and farmers, and they let their grass grow for the hay, and I've noticed the top field's been cut the other day, and I feel like it's that giving me a bit of a sniffle. It's probably not, but I don't really suffer from hay fever. Right, let's get some colour in this, different colours in. I'm going to do these little plant pots. Somebody was asking me about these floss drops. These are in the shop, brand new in the shop, and they are so good. I'm just looking for a needle that's I've washed my needle case because please don't judge me. I spilled a glass of wine on it. I was having a stitch and I just knocked it, and it, oh gosh, not only did it spill all over everything on the desk, it was you know, sacrilege, because it spilled out. It wasted it. If you're doing a floss drop, if you've got floss drops and you put them in like that, you can just, oh, I can't, you can just pull them up. Usually you can just do 2 strands, but I think because this is quite old, it doesn't like it. It's not liking it at all. Let's just undo that. Yeah, sometimes older thread, it doesn't always play ball. There we go. There we go. Put you back. Yeah, it don't always play ball, but hey ho. Also, sourcing these for we're trying to source these, well, we aren't, not trying, we have sourced these for the kits as well, just to put the threads on, because we're just trying to sort of make them a little bit more, just put nice things in them. And I think on my videos I've shown you what's in each kit, so we're just sort of giving them a glow up. I love that. Yeah, this feels a little bit stiff. It feels like it's been sat in a bag in a dusty room for a while. Right, plant pots. Let's do you. I'm going to do them brown. And they always have tomatoes in greenhouses, don't they? And cucumbers. Well, they do in ours in good old Blighty. I'd be interested to know what you're growing in your greenhouse. Melons are here. I have bought a variety of cucumber that is round and it's flavoured lemon. So oh gosh, this is not great, look. Yeah, it's all flavoured in it's going to be a lemon flavoured cucumber, which I thought, how delightful will that be in a Pimm's or a gin? Be wonderful, won't it? Yes, I hear you shouting at me. I don't know the name of it. I just bought one from the local garden centre which was already grown in a little pot, which sometimes is always best way. Now the bus has pulled up. I'm just hoping that Reggie doesn't jump up barking. So I'm just poised over the... No, he's fast asleep. I don't know whether you can see him. Can you see him? I don't know. I don't think you can. I wonder if I move you that way a little bit, you'll be able to see him. Just there, look. Curled up in a little tiny ball. Oh dear. He's so lovely. He's lovely when he's asleep. No, he's a good little boy, to be fair. He's sort of grown into himself now. He's got his own little character. Gosh, this plant pot's looking a bit dodgy. Looks more like a box. Oh dear. Right, try and do this one. I don't mind wonky. Most things I have was wonky. Don't know what I was talking about before. Completely gone. Don't know. No idea. I was chatting with one of my friend's husbands at the theatre at the half-time interval at the theatre, and he was saying he watches over his wife's shoulder and likes to listen to me chatting away. And you know how you sometimes think, oh, people are going to laugh at me, they're going to be, you know, whatever. Well, I do. I get a bit of imposter syndrome, and it's not great. But I have a group of friends that are so supportive, and it's so lovely, you know. And they were, when I told them about doing the knitting and stitching, they were excited and wanted to know what they could do, how they could help. So I have got a good group of friends, and I think you tend to do that as you get older, don't you? You sort of, you know who's your people, who your people are. And it's funny because I was looking at the analytics, not that I know anything about the analytics on the YouTube, but it did amuse me that they say, don't they, that you attract your people, you attract people like you. And I was looking at the ages, and I was thinking, yeah, that's my people, they are me. And hello. And I'm imagining you all sitting with your cup of tea or your wine or your gin and tonic on a Friday night, if you treat yourself on a Friday, stitching away, answering my questions, because obviously I'm talking to you guys, you are here with me, and I like to think that you're all sort of saying, yes, we do that too, or, oh, don't do that, or when I'm struggling, you're sort of rooting for me. So yeah, and it is kind of, I think it's quite therapeutic. That's quite cute, isn't it? I've tried to cover that up so we don't get distracted by those, but actually they don't look too bad now. They're not too bad, are they? Not perfect, but not too bad. This this fabric's a bit thready. You know what I'm trying to say, don't you? Thready. I don't know what I mean. Right. I've made a bit of a boob because I'm going to put some leaves in there, and I should have done the grass and thing after. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. Not one little bit. Again, I think I might have. Let's start at that end. Here we go. Doodly doo 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 doo. Oh, I could have used that, couldn't I? No, I'm going to use this. That's what I was saying. I was saying about needle case. I'd had to wash it because I don't want to rock up to one of my afternoon things smelling like a distillery. Oh dear. Or a winery. I do keep saying I ought to do a sip and stitch. Imagine that. That would be nice. Sip and stitch. In fact, we could do that one weekend, couldn't we? Because I was looking on the YouTube thing, and I think you can do a live. Although probably my afternoon would be about 6 AM for you guys, some of you guys. So sitting with your gin and tonic on the crack of dawn might not be a good thing. Why can't I thread my needle? What's going on here? That one's not very. I don't know why I'm swapping needles. It's like it's come on, let's have a look. I'm looking for a bigger. There. I have hundreds and hundreds. In fact, I have thousands of needles because I buy them in bulk, and I just keep using the same few. Don't know why I can't thread you. Come on. Probably could have got my nails again a little bit long. And I want to just point out the colour of these, and it's called the nail colour. It's called Lime Ada, which if you go for your nails, if you go to get your nails done, guys, I'm sure lots and lots of you out there are listening in do. You sort of get overwhelmed by all the colours, don't you? And what you can and can't do, what you can and can't have. And I absolutely loved this colour, and I thought, well, I'm going for it. Right, let's do some green. Ooh. And I'm just going to do some little stitches that make it look a bit like a plant growing. Oh, not a sideways one. Oh my gosh, rage. And that's coming up from the plant pot. I don't like to unpick though. Oh, that's alright, isn't it? No. I see some people stitching, and it is incredibly detailed and beautiful. Oh, do you know, I'm just going to stop because I need to go and get a tissue because my nose is starting to run. I'll be back in a minute. Back. Got myself a little cup of tea as well while I was out on that. So I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, by the way, I had a little look at the cucumber, the name of the cucumber, if you're at all interested, and it's called Cucumber Lemon Apple. So that does sound delightful. So yeah, I'll let you know. And I don't know what I was talking about before. Who knows? Who knows? But I tell you what I did watch, binge watch, Bridgerton, this third series. Put your fingers in your ears. I won't do too much of a spoiler, but who knew Colin would be so naughty? That's all I'm going to say. I do love Bridgerton. Do love it. it is, yeah, the music, I love the music as well in it, it's great. The quartet, what are they called, the vitamin quartet or whatever, I can't remember. Oh my gosh, my brain, need to switch it on. Vitamin quartet or something like that they're called, and they do like, if you don't watch Bridgerton, who even are you? Oh dear. It's the music, they have the music, and they will do a really modern tune. It might be a Taylor Swift tune, and do it as a string quartet. And actually, when I was teaching, I used to put it on a playlist when we were doing practical lessons such as sewing or cooking. Not too loud if you were cooking, because obviously if somebody had a bit of an accident it wouldn't be great, but I just used to have it on in the background, and it's amazing how calming it was for the children. They loved it. I'm going to stop because Harvey's coming and he's going to want something. I'll be back in a minute. Oh my gosh, the interruption. Actually, he did want something, but he came to ask me if we were going to have fish and chips for tea, or dinner, or whatever. It's a northern thing, we call it tea. But we aren't today. We're going to have some tomorrow instead, because I've got something else cooking. But while I was doing that, while I was having that conversation, I sort of looked out of the window. I have a big bay window here, and somebody walked past wearing the most beautiful cowboy hat, a gentleman, and a waistcoat and his jeans and some boots, and I thought, oh, how interesting. Unusual for Brinsley. And then another one walked past. So I sort of went to the top of the stairs, to coin a phrase, went to the top of our stairs. We have a little nosy window and I can see up and down quite a way, and had a little look, and there's several gentlemen wearing cowboy hats walking up the road. So I'm thinking we have a cowboy convention. Who knows? Who knew in little old Middle England? So I have the windows open and the door open, so it's quite noisy for the road. As I say, it is a bit of a rat run. Yeah. So I was talking about Bridgerton, wasn't I, and the music. Yeah, it was very soothing, and the kids loved it because it was modern. You know, they do sort of modern songs, tunes. You could hear them humming away. It's quite nice. My tomato plant's gone right to the roof in that one, and it is quite mushy. I'm going to put some little red tomatoes on, I think. I'm just going to go through the back of this with red so I don't have to. Don't judge. I've said this before, haven't I? Oh, that's getting on my wick. Come on, let's get rid of you. Ba ba ba. I've just had a sip of tea. I'm now on cowboy alert. Oh dear. Yeah, so like I say, the kids actually loved the music, and it was quite sort of nice that they would just quietly get on with the work rather than, and sort of it would quieten the voices down. Because I'm sure there's a lot of teachers out there listening, and maybe there isn't, where chatter can get quite loud, can't it? Cat hair, a Gertrude hair, let's get rid of you, and then become distracting for other students and oneself. So, yeah. Especially when you're doing something like art, you can get quite immersed. I used to like to put on an audio book as well, something. I'm a huge All Creatures Great and Small fan. And the kids would be like, miss, but they'd soon be into it. They didn't have much choice. So, and they could get very immersive in something, especially when it was about this time of year when we had exam time or exam prep or that kind of thing, where we'd be frantically finishing things off if it was a piece that needed to be handed in. Right, I quite like that. I don't know whether you can see, sometimes I know. I'm trying to work out, there we are, how it focuses. So I'm going to put some little red dots in, French knots. I'm just going to have a little look. Let's have I know I'm winding off quite a bit. I'm cutting it, but I will use it again. I will use these kind of things at a later date. My go-to needles are chenille needles, usually about 24, but these are a 26, and that's why I'm struggling with the eye of it. Okay, there we go. I don't know how long I've been videoing, we're filming. I just keep going. I think I watched one the other day, not one of my own videos, that would be a bit strange, although I do sometimes watch them back and cringe. Here we go, look. Oh yeah. And it was a couple and a half hours long, something like that, and I was still watching. I was doing other things, but maybe I know lots of you have said that you just stitch along and listen and talk at me. I think because I'm only doing one video a week for the time being, it's quite nice to just get everything off my chest. And they're not exactly involved too much. They're not as if I'm doing a tutorial. I'm just sort of giving a suggestion of tomato, because if we were going to go into details, there'd be some green, wouldn't there, and some yellow. Here he is, here's Reggie. Oh, he's come back out. He's had a sausage. Harvey came in and snuck him a sausage. But he buries them. Spends ages and ages burying them, and then instantly digs them. Well, doesn't even bury them. We have gravel, and he noses, and then instantly eats it. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. We used to have an English Bull Terrier, and he invisibly buried things. He would literally bury it with fresh air. He was a little bit silly. Oh dear. He was a great dog. Proper gentleman he was. What are you doing, Reggie? Do you want to come and get on Granny's knee and say hello? Yeah. I think this might more look like a... Come on then, we'll say hello. Oh no, he's gone to look out the window. He's gone to look out the window, yeah. Oh, that looks quite cute, doesn't it? Can you see? Oh, look a bit more like roses, but I'm not too worried. And once I've finished and I spritz this and get rid of the pen marks, it will look amazing. Okay. Just going to have a little look what I might do some carrots. I'm going to do some bullion knot carrots. How amazing will they look? So, bullion knots. Use a straw needle or a milliner's needle. I can't thread this. Here we go. I'm expecting a delivery anytime. So if I suddenly disappear off the face of the earth, if Reggie starts barking, because he will, he'll go ballistic. And I'm going to do some little carrots, bullion, not carrots, here. So yeah, what was I saying? Milliner's needle or a straw needle for bullion knots, because the eye of the needle is the same length with the shaft of the needle, and you'll find it easier to pull up. Right. So come up, make a stitch as big as you want your carrot. Obviously these are going to be humongous carrots, I don't care. And come back up at the side of where you came up the first time. And then you're going to wrap your thread around your needle to around about the same length as your stitch. So I'm just going to give it an extra one, always give it an extra one, and then you can just pull and just give it a little wiggle, hold on, and all you can see all your wraps, and you give it a wriggle, and then you're going to go back down. How cute is that? Once I've got a little red, green even, green top on it, not red. These do look good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back down. I know the carrot would be underneath the ground, but the tops would be out, wouldn't they? And you know, artistic license and all that kind of malarkey. Oh, I've got a knot. There it's gone. If you get knots in your work, tend to be, once this end gets a bit frayed, it starts to make knots, and I don't know what the science is behind that, but it does. So I was giving a little snip off. No idea. There might be some clever person out there that knows. Oh, there's bound to be some clever person out there that knows, but I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I could do bullion knots forever and ever and ever. Right. I'm going about 4 or 5 wraps. There we go, that's better. Pull it back on itself, give it a little wiggle. Back down. You could also do pumpkins and put several together. Might do one, couldn't you? Could do some pumpkins in that side. Oh. forgot to wrap it round. Oh dear. That's because I'm thinking about pumpkins. Right, come on. Doesn't want to thread. I might have to find a needle threader. Since I've been down here, I can't find anything. Come on. Oh, my tummy mumbling. That is not. There we go. Yay. Back up. Wrap. I feel like I've been stitching a long time, and yeah, I might do a little bit more. And come back to you because it's quite stitch heavy. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do one of everything that I'm thinking of doing, and then I'll do them and then come back and show you the sort of finishing touches. So right, let's put you there. Some green. I feel like that's too dark. Let's have I'm going to go with this really limey green look. Do some and you could do a fly stitch, which is, we did one last week, but okay. Oh my gosh, I've got another knot. Up, across, and I'm going to come down in a V, and then go make a little stick on it so it looks a little bit like letter Y, and that'll look sweet. I'm going to get myself a bit wrapped up now, aren't I? So up, make a stitch across, come down in like a triangle, come up so your thread's behind your needle, and then put yourself a little stalk on it. Okay, put you up there, out the way. So I'm going to do some stem stitch on here in, let's do brown. Where's that? How much thread had I got on there? Let's do that. Because that'll look like a bit like a cane. And then I'll add some beans to it. These don't have to be straight, by the way. Mine are a little bit all over the place, which I always think looks nice. So I'm just checking my edges. Gives them an authentic kind of hazel cane kind of look rather than the bamboo. Let's get you off. I'm going to go down in a different direction. I was kind of thinking about how I'm stitching and not worrying about how perfect the stitches are. But because, and I was thinking to myself, when did I go from that wanting it to be perfect to just having a little bit of a, I don't mind it being a little bit off. And I was trying to work out when it was, and I really don't know. I think you know, when you first start and you're buying kits and you're following instructions, and I found that that's fine, but I'd stray off the path of the kit. And I think it was the lady I worked with, actually. I'd done this beautiful embroidery, and she looked at it and looked at the back of it and sort of poured a few holes in it, because that's what she was like. We all have people like that we work with. So I then thought to myself, do you know what? I don't know why I'm worrying about this being perfect, and why would I show somebody and then let them pick fault in it, basically? Why would I do that? Why would that happen? Why would I let that happen? So, well, I just decided that actually, you know what, I'm not going to. I'm going to, I'm just going to do my own thing. And so I did. Started to sort of do my own, find my own way, and use my own interpretations that were going on in my head. And then nobody can tell you whether you've done it right or wrong, can they? And I think that's a big teacher thing. Lots of teachers out there who will, you know, sort of, it has to be a certain way. And in the world that I'm sort of in, the art, textile art work, your interpretation's your interpretation. You don't need to be told. Right, I'm going to do some kind of like stitching around. Gosh, that was a little bit heavy talk, wasn't it? I won't. And then I'm going to whip this up there so it looks like it's twisting round. I don't know whether I said about when I do my workshops, I might have said it in the past. Yeah, you see that's sort of twisted. I've done a whipped stitch and it looks like it's twisted. So, and I'll probably make it come out the top as well, because usually with runner beans, string beans, or whatever you call them in your part of the world, they usually have a little bit that goes off on a off there. So yeah, when I do my workshops, what I tend to do is get people to just go with their own flow, and you know, we do the basics, and then expression, your own artistic expression is very much something that I encourage, because how I use my pieces, I use them as like a stitch sampler. But I also think that a lot of people who don't embroider, who are new to embroidery, don't have all the tools in the box at this moment. You know, they're learning, and to show them ways of making something quite pretty without lots of embroidery stitches, for me is all part of the process. And I did one on Saturday. We did a workshop on Saturday, and I've already, several of the ladies were quite accomplished, but not in my method, if you like. So we sort of feed off each other and tell each other where we might find things. I mean, I'm a big charity shop, thrift shopper, and beads for me, although I did purchase these as necklaces, are a huge source of beads of all shapes and sizes. In one necklace you can get a whole plethora of different things. But what I was trying to say was, you sort of get that new take on something where you know, there's no rules. We do what we want. I'm not here to tell you yes or no. That's how it's done. So it's always good. I think it sort of relieves people of their hang-ups about embroidery. So sort of, oh, do you know what I could do up here? I could do a little scarecrow, couldn't I? Oh my gosh, I'm going off on one again, aren't I? I'm not going to sew anymore. I am going to sew, but I'm going to do this because I'm very conscious that this is quite a long video and it's taken up a long time. So I'm going to do my beans, and I'm going to put some little red dots on, probably just a little tiny seed stitch. I'm going to do some more carrots, I'll do these as cabbages, but I'll do a stem stitch, not a stem, I'll have a think about it and I'll probably come back and show you what I do, because I'm just in my head thinking I don't know quite what I'm going to do. Might put a little scarecrow up here and just do some lines of greenery. I'll do the watering can. We'll just do a satin stitch watering can, and the bucket, the water bottle. But I might also come in and put some beads in. So if I'm changing it up, I will come in and show you. So I'm just going to stop videoing. I'm going to stop videoing this for now, and then if I'm doing something different, I'll come in and show you as I'm doing it. I think that's the best way, because I know that this is going to be forever if not. So I'll be back shortly, I'm sure. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so I am back. Just going to shine that up a bit so you can see me and I'm not sat in the dark. So I've done a little row of carrots. I've finished the beans off. Let me just see if you can see. I sort of did some loopy stitches at the top, just to sort of give the appearance of the tendrils. So now I'm just on making some little cauliflowers, and what I've done is I've gone along and put some creamy coloured beads in, and then on this one I did bullion knots, but I'm not entirely sure that that's kind of worked. So I'm going to show you what I did. So I'm going to, you come up like a normal bullion knot you would, right next to your bead. You could do a French knot there if you've not got beads, and then you want to come across to the other side and then come up into your stitch, up next to your stitch, sorry, and then wrap. You want quite a few wraps because you're going to sort of make it curve around. Okay, so we'll go up and pull, and it can be either side, to be honest. I don't think it really matters which way you go, and then you're going to curve it round your bead or your French knot and come back down as close to the bead as you can, because you want to pull it in tight. Oh, that's a bit squeaky, can you see? So I've sort of gone curved around. I'm not very happy with that. It's a bit of a triangle, but you know. So then I want to come up on just kind of halfway or a third of the way underneath that one, and again we're going to do the same kind of thing. We're going to come across that stitch, come up again somewhere near your stitch, do some wraps, do a few more wraps than you think you need, because you want it to curve around rather than go straight. So pull, so just give it a little wiggle and you're coming back. Can you see? You can also do this with a buttonhole bar stitch, if that's your sort of one of your favourite stitches, and it'll do the same sort of thing. So come across, round, 2. So I'm going to come up again. I was saying about halfway is best. Yeah. And I'm going to go across that one because I want to cover that bit and come up. So they're like interlocking leaves. Okay. So I'll just unwrap. I might just about get away with this. Keep going. A bit more. Like I say, just add a few more twists on because you'll need more than you think. Oh, blimey heck, I've come unthreaded, but that's not to worry. I'll thread it back up, and I'm going to come across and round, and then I will stitch back down once I've threaded that up. Just give it a bit of more of a tug because it don't want to. Right, let's just snip you off. I'm using the SCHEEPJES for this because it just, for me, this SCHEEPJES Maxi Sweet Treats makes the most beautiful bullion knots. When I can thread the needle up, I've got quite a big eyed needle. This is a milliner's size 1. Because this is quite thick thread because it's actually crocheting yarn. Okay, so I'm going to go back down and I'm sort of tucking under as I go just to hide, and that's all I'm going to do on that. But I am going to use, I'll finish this one off because obviously I'm not having enough thread. Ooh, scrunch my shoulders up again. Get rid of you. I'm going to use this this DMC variegated in it, just because I got a needle threaded up, and I'm just using exactly the same principle. Come up, make your stitch opposite, and come up that way next to it. Ooh. The reason I put the beads on first is because I couldn't get this needle through them, so I had to put them on with a thinner needle. Wrap, keep wrapping. Like I say, you'll need a few more wraps than you think. And you want to try and keep them as tight in as you can, otherwise they'll end up looking like that one. This is thinner thread, so it's going to be probably more wraps and more goes round, we'll see. So come up halfway and sort of tuck yourself under your bullion knot, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm going to come back up there. Keep going. I'm not counting how many wraps I'm doing. Do you know, I did this one I did with a chenille needle, and that is probably why it's gone a bit skew-iff, because they're so, even though you think, oh, it's the needles are not going to make much difference, but they do. that straighter needle. So I'm just going to go down and then come back up. So I'll just pull it that way. Come up. Like I say, if you just move your knot out of the way a little bit and come up underneath your knot, underneath it, can you see? Just to, so it sits in time. You could just do a stem stitch, by the way, if you were doing a French knot and doing them a bit smaller. But bullion knots are I love. So I'll probably put more on than I would. This DMC tends to want to unwind itself when you're wrapping. Whereas that, because it's on the counter clock, she says, I'm trying to think, it tightens itself up, so it makes a nicer knot. And you see it's untwisting itself. I might just get away with one more in there. Maybe not. I'm not going to go. So I'll leave you to it, and I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do on the next few bits. So I did my little cauliflowers, and I'm going to just do the watering can. So I've got full 6 strands of stranded DMC cotton in a silvery kind of a colour. It's popping a bit, and I'm just going to go backwards and forwards and do a satin stitch. Oh, it's because I've got quite a thick amount of thread on. Oh, so I'm just going to come back up there, I think. No, I'm not. And I'm just happily a little bit of a gap there, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to come up with my spout. I've been going at this one some time, so it's a good job, really. I've not videoed it. It'll be about 5 hours long. Gosh, the traffic's been horrendous today. But somebody said to me that there's a road closed, so that's why they're sending everything this way. So a bit of a handle. And I'm just going to do, I'm not going to take it down to 2 strands for this. I'm just going, keep going. I'm just going to do some little tiny back stitch. I'm going to show you something in a minute that I ordered for a journaling thing that I've been doing. And well, actually Heather ordered some, and I thought, oh, I quite like them. I might have to have a go, order some of those. So I'll show you when. Let me just finish this and I'll show you, just in case you're not very good at drawing, which I know I always say, as long as it looks something like, I don't think it really matters. So there's my watering can, which, gosh, it's a bit dodgy. But again, it looks something like, looks like a teapot. I'm actually going to go across there and over the top of that, just because it's sort of sticking out to me. One of my things, once I've seen it, I can't unsee it. There we go, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. Okay, and if satin stitch, get your needle and rub it on your thread, it shines it up, it sort of gives it a bit more sheen. Well, it seems to. That's what I like to tell myself. Okay, so we've got a little watering can. There we go. Cute. I'll just finish that off. Might have put a bit too much thread on, but I'm not worried. As I say, nothing's in perspective. And also, cauliflowers and carrots aren't all out at the same time, I know. Somebody's going to tell me that. So, these, can you see, are for journaling, so they say. But I thought, oh, if you're not very sort of artistic, look, that's got like a little florally line with flowers, and these little things, curly cues, leaves, that kind of thing. I thought they were quite good. Also, they got bunting, arrows if you wanted an arrow, little plaque, I might use that at a later date. This one's got all kinds of sunshine, clouds, umbrella, snail. You might want to put a snail on your, in your garden. It's even got Big Ben, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Some more leaves, got a little bird. So I just sort of thought, you know, these things might be useful, and they were only a couple of pounds, not a lot of money. Again, a bit more bunting on this. So yeah, hot air balloon, I liked that. A cat, little house. So lots going on, look. Again, clouds and umbrella, sun. This one's even got the birds and the clouds, which I liked. And again, bunting, look, if you wanted to make little bunting. This one's got a bit more, a few more things, a balloon. But I just sort of thought, oh, they might be useful if you are not so artistic, which we aren't all. You know, I'm certainly not perfect at drawing, but I just thought they might be useful to help you out. So I'm going to do some more. I think I might put some beetroot in here and I'll come back. So now I'm going to do some, or have been doing some little beetroots or giant strawberries. So I'm literally going up, down, and then like coming across, making a little V shape. I'm going straight back down where I came up, or at the point, just to make a little tiny V shape. And you can fill that in a little bit more. If you want. Okay. So we've got some, let's try and just little straight stitches, nothing spectacular. Gosh, I don't want to look at the back of this. And then I'm going to give it some leaves. I found some different colours because I thought the green was getting a bit monotonous. And I'm just going to do two little lazy daisies. So lazy daisies is or detached chain, whichever you call it. I'm just gonna do that for the leaves. Oops, that's twisted around on itself. There we go. I know the giant, but I don't mind. It always reminds me of it's not a nursery rhyme, a little fairy tale. The enormous turnip. When I was in primary school, every year at Christmas or just before Christmas, we would get to choose from a long list a book, a ladybird book, and if you they were sort of are still a bit of a British institution, I think ladybird books are, and they have beautiful illustrations in them, and they're quite sought after now, but you were allowed to choose one. And I had 3 other siblings at the same school, so we were 4 of us, and we would all sort of make sure that we weren't choosing the same book. So we, over the years, we had quite a collection with being the 4 of us. But there was things like Princess and the Pea, Rumpelstiltskin, oh gosh, lots and lots and lots of Magic Porridge Pot, and that was another one. Do Cinderella and Snow White and all those lovely Elves and the Shoemaker, that was another one. Gosh, I wonder whatever happened to all of those. To be fair, I think they sort of got passed on to other cousins and things. We didn't have an awful lot of money when I was growing up, so things got handed down and passed on and that kind of thing. So we've got little, well, humongous leaves, but as I say, I'm not worried about the perspective of things. That doesn't bother me. So I'm going to finish those off quickly, and I'm literally just going to do some stitches along there of what might look like leaves coming out of the ground. I was thinking I was going to do sweet corn, but I think I've gone a bit OTT, so I don't know. Maybe I could have a little look. Gosh, my leaves are giant. It's alright though. I like that. I like that look. And it's all got part of the fun of stitching. And if you, I was going to say, actually, let me just grab the pen. If you don't want to be doing tiny little dots of things, I'm hoping this won't run. Let's get it on something that I know. Back of that. Yeah, it's okay. If you don't want to do tiny little dots of French knots and things like this, for instance, will have little tiny red flowers on that you can just dot on. Use your sort of what you've got. No one's going to tell you off. Honestly, they're not. You won't probably be able to see what I've done. But yeah, I'll give it like a little bit of red. And you haven't got to get your threads out then and start doing tiny little dots. I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking, oh gosh, I don't want to find another red out, but it's all about doing what you fancy. Of course, you can do little French knots or little stem, little tiny stitches, seed stitches. Absolutely do. Oops, what have I done here? I forgot to go through the loop. But I'm not all about a shortcut, but sometimes you might want to, you could put beads on for them. You don't even have to do them at all. I haven't decided what I was going to do with those yet. I might find some sequins and just put them on. So there's my beetroots. Might do some bunting on this shed as well. Have a look. I'll see. I'll see. So let's have a look at. Let's just have a little look at this. What I'm going to do here. Don't feel like I want to do that. I think I might use do some down there, but I've got this lime green again, and I'm just going to do some little stitches in there to make them look like leaves growing out of the, or something growing out of the soil. just doing straight stitches. You can do little like I did there, fly stitch. You could also do a pistol stitch. I'm not going too straight with mine. I'm going sort of backwards and forwards. My tummy's rumbling. Hope that doesn't pick up on the thing. It's quite loud. So it is. I've been busy stitching all day. I hope I'm not going to run out of thread here. I probably am. I haven't been stitching all day. I've been stitching since probably lunchtime, just after lunchtime, but it just feels like it's a long time. I think it's when I'm sort of put myself under the pressure of stitching, of filming, I get into a bit of a rhythm and then forget what I'm doing, or haven't done it for a while. I was going to put a scarecrow up, wasn't I? I don't think I will, because of, oh, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I've run out of thread, so I'm not going to do that top line. So I want to do the water, but find something for those little paving slabs, stepping stones, and then I think I will be finished. Just snip that off there. There we go. Starting to look quite cute once all this is gone as well. Yeah, I'm going to find something. What colour am I going to go? I think I'll just use this, and I'll just, sorry if I'm clunking, needle. We'll do the drain pipe. Drain. Oh, my tummy is rumbling quite loudly now. Into the water. There we go. And I'm just going to do the stitches of the outer, because I'm going to put I'm going to put some watercolors on it. I've made my mind up about that. I just think it'll give it a little bit of depth. I think if I put some bunting on here as well, it'll give it a little bit of colour. Not that it's not colourful, just that just feel like it's got, it needs a little bit more, probably some pink and some lemon and blue, something like that. I'll have a look. I'll have a look, see. Okay, that's my water. That's looking quite cute. I'll try and cover that up. So we're looking. Right. Oh. Oh, I feel exhausted. I wonder what I can find. I'm going to have a little look round and I'll be back. Right, so I found some little beads that came off a necklace or something. I don't know whether you'll see, but they've got a little face of the sun. Come on. No, it's not gonna. So anyway, we've got a little face of the sun on one side and the moon on the other. It's cute. So I just thought, oh, I know I've got a few steps there, but I'm just going to just stitch, quickly stitch them on, and then we will be able to, oh, I hope this will go through there. I just suddenly thought it's not going to. Oh, it is. A little stepping stone. It's amazing what you find when you're looking. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do a moon. Which way? Oh, no, I'm not, because that goes that way. Oh, I'll have to go down and up across the middle. It's, for some reason it goes the opposite way. Of course it does. Man in the moon. I don't know. I did find some little shisha mirrors, but decided that they weren't quite what I wanted. Is the face the right way up? Oh, yeah, it's cute. Oh, yes, I like that. I like that a lot. I have so many things that I come across, you know, necklaces and things in charity shops. They're the best places to find things, because you can come across all sorts of lovely stuff. Right, that is cute. Try and That was quite fun. Once all this has gone, that'd be cute. I'm thrilled with that. So I think that's me done for now. I'm going to go and get some watercolours out, and I'll come back. I might do a couple of more French knots in some different colours, just to give it a little bit of more depth. But I think I might be done. I might just do a bit of bunting. Let's see what I've got. I say I'm going to stop and then I don't, do I? I'm doing some really light loopy French knots here to make them sort of look like cabbagey things. Growing. You might want to put a little robin on the handle, but I've not got space, so I'm not going to. Bit of a loopy thing going on. My cabbages. 2, 4. Gotta put another one in there. I do hope that the noise of the road's not distracting you too much. It's probably, I can hear it far more than you can, quite possibly, but it feels really loud today, and it's because probably I've got the doors and windows open as well because it's quite warm, so it's sort of making it more intense. That is really sweet. Right, I'm going to go and give it a spritz and get rid of these, and I'll do that on camera, but I'm going to go and get the watercolours and everything before we start, so back in a minute. So I'm going to make my pen disappear. It's going to probably get quite wet, but that's the thing with these aquatrick markers. You don't need to iron, which I quite like the idea of. And I know the friction pens that people will say that they'll come back at certain temperatures, and which I do. I use them a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm sort of heading down the route of I like these better. Can you see it going? Also, sometimes when you wet your threads, it plumps it up a bit. I'm just going to get rid of these. I'm just hoping that that ink doesn't run. Maybe it might. Oh, I'm not too worried. Look, it has run. Not to worry. But you won't be able to see that. Close up. Oh, excuse me. I'm wetting this quite a lot, I don't know. Okay. So I'm now going to put some colour in with the good old watercolours. And I do say this a lot, don't worry if you haven't got any posh watercolours. They, you know, the ones you can get from the pound shop or Dollar Tree, or anything like that will do. I think I often say I'd like some Inktense, but this works just as well. And I don't know why I want the Inktense. I think it's just because I feel like I'm missing out. But the more water you add to your paint, the lighter it'll go. Don't try mixing in white. I actually don't have white in my palette. Just line it up with the water. Keep going with the water. I'm going to put a bit of green in as well in a minute. And I also I'm not mixing these up. I'm not starting mixing things because just a little bit pointless. Give that a bit more green. Right, let's going to go with a really cobalt blue for that water, but oh, that's got a bit too much water on. There we go. And I'm just going to do the shed in the similar sort of colours. So I want it to look a little bit like it's a bit weather beaten. Sorry, I'm talking to myself again, aren't I? It might have been painted red at one stage, this door. So I'm just going to put some more red on there because it's sort of gone a bit lighter blue. I've just gone in and had a look at, and Reggie's fast asleep. He's exhausted, that dog is. Absolutely exhausted. Greenhouse. A bit more green at the bottom for the grass. And, do you know what? I'm done. Oh, how sweet is that? Cute, 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 cute. So I'll take some pictures, some close-up pictures, as always. And I enjoyed doing that, even though it's been epic. again. Gosh. Ooh. As always, if you have enjoyed, please do subscribe and give it a thumbs up. It all helps the algorithm. And if you want to enjoy a bit of chit chat in the comments, I always love to read your comments. There's some beautiful comments come through, and I'm so thankful for you to give me this opportunity. You know, it's and like I say, if you want to send me anything on Messenger with pictures of what you're doing, that'd be great. So happy stitching, everybody, and I will see you again next week. And I'm so sorry it's a little bit late. Bye bye.